And last but not least, we have our fire signs. So doing the spring equinox reading, we're going to go over the overall energies, March, April, and May, and we're going to begin with Leo. So we are starting out with the garden and the gate. And this is someone who has finished a big chapter in her life. And she now has the keys to open the gate of where she is and move out and move forward. So she might be staying there a little nervous with a little bit of a trepidation. She might just be daydreaming about the exciting opportunities that are coming up. But you're absolutely being asked to step into that gate. And it looks like for you, it's coming at the right time. So we'll get in here. Let's get into it. Okay. So underlying energy coming in, you have the Two of Pentacles. You have it in reverse. Okay. So this talks about trying to get things into balance. You might be trying to figure out ways to coordinate your obligations and the things that you want to do in a way that you can have more time for yourself, in a way that it won't be quite such a burden and burning out and that sort of thing. So it looks like during these next 3 months, you're figuring that out because this is coming to an end. There's actually a lot of healing taking place from you taking these steps for yourself. And looking at your overall energy, and what we will definitely talk about it, it really seems like you get it. Like you really get it now. That you can't be living the way that you've always done it, or the way that you've been burning the candle at both ends, or, however that is resonating for you, because something really big is coming in for you. And I think it probably isn't going to happen for you until the summertime. But the spring is really important because that's laying all of the groundwork for that, okay, for that manifestation to occur. Exciting things are going to happen in spring. I'm not saying the next 3 months are going to be boring for you at all. I'm just saying you are laying the groundwork to have a really successful summer, if that makes sense to you, okay? So let's go on with the oracles a little bit more before we get into it. You're getting from the Spirit Animal deck, you're getting Peacock Spirit, Let It Shine. So it's going to be a really important, not that Leos have any trouble trying to shine, right, in the first place, but this is talking about shining for what makes you different, okay? What makes you stand out from the crowd, whether that's your perspective, what you have to say, what you look like, what trends that you do. So it's absolutely important that you are able to 100% be yourself and step out into that light. So that's one of the energies coming in. You're getting writer. I write from spirit. My words inspire others to discover themselves, okay? And this could be at any level that you're communicating to other people, whether that be through the experiences that you've already had, or information that you have that you've done a lot of studying on that you'd like to share with people. And there's definitely a lot to be learned. So you could start out as simply as just writing in a journal, but there's definitely something that will take place from this, okay? One of the issues that you might be running into here is the perpetual child, right? So I was born to be powerful. It is now safe to fully grow up and make my own choices. So this might be one of the things that's holding you back. If you were raised a certain way, let's just say by an over anxious parent. I can say that because I'm an over anxious parent. And it's kind of like, oh no, don't do that, you can get hurt, or don't do that, something bad could happen. And that is the internal voice that you have in your mind. It's going to be a really good time for you over the next 3 months to figure out which is an outdated record that plays in your mind from your childhood versus how you really truly feel and how you're going to be moving forward in your life, okay? Because I feel like that will keep you stuck if you continue to not give yourself the permission that as an adult you require to move forward from yourself and from nobody else, okay? And I think this ties into excuse me, the peacock spirit of letting it shine. Like, where once upon a time you were told, oh, you can't go out in public looking like that, you need to make sure that you're all made up. And then you get a little older and you're like, I'm literally going to Giant, I don't even care, you're lucky I have pants on, that kind of stuff, okay? So from the rune cards, you're getting an opening, okay? Number 14, if you're a numbers person, but like I said, there is an opportunity that is coming in for you. So this self-work that you've been doing during this time is extremely important, so that when preparation meets opportunity, you are ready and you don't miss it because you've worked hard for it. You absolutely deserve it, and it's coming in for you. Now, before I get into the energy card, because that's more of a spirit message for you than an energy right now, let's look at March for you. So in March, we have what I like to call the grass is greener card. Does it mean you have a grass is greener complex? I mean, it could, but that's not why I'm saying that. I'm saying that because something has bored you. You're no longer into whatever you're doing. Now, I don't see a lot about relationships in this first part. This could have to do with career, but again, take it how it resonates for you. It could be your role in society, it could be in your family, it could be in your career. Something has made you kind of feel like you're in a rut and you need something exciting to happen, okay? It could simply be the fact that it's been winter and it's been miserable and it's been dark, and now you're just so excited to get out and be seen and have it be springtime. It could be that too. In April, you have the Four of Swords. Now let's talk about this for a minute because this is how we started your reading, talking about burnout. The Four of Swords upright, which for you it's reversed, which is much better, okay, is the fact that you need to make sure, and this is the balance that we were talking about, that you're not burning the candle at both ends, that you're able to let go of some obligations that no longer serve you in order to be able to pursue the things that not only you have to do, but the things that also inspire you. Because when you're healing and you're tired and you're burnt out, that lack of inspiration just really adds to the weight of dragging you down. Having that in reverse talks about a healing that has taken place, okay? So recognizing what needs to happen in your life and having the courage to make those changes is really important for you, and you're going to start to see that in April, okay? Come May, it's just hanging in there just a little bit longer, and that's why I said to you, everything that you're setting up over the next 3 months is going to be wonderful for you this summer, okay? Think of it literally like planting the garden that you would be planting in the spring, and then you start to see things bloom in the summer, and then come fall, boom, you have a completely different energy that you had before, where you had grass, you now have plants, you now have vegetables, you now have flowers, okay? So really hang in there. It's going to get a little challenging in May for you, but to persevere through that. I don't see anything excessive, so don't be too concerned, but you might just be getting tired of it by then and ready to move on. But don't give up before the blessing happens or the manifestation, okay? The need to be tolerant is here. That's not what this is. I'll get back to that. So this here would be your energy. And this card to me comes through when we have somebody on the other side who is acknowledging your birthday or is acknowledging that you celebrated their birthday without them, okay? So this is a card of being bittersweet and taking that cake up to heaven, or however you see the afterlife being to you, okay? So this is an acknowledgement of spirit of the fact that there was just a birthday celebrated and they were around and they did hear the nice things that you said about them, or they were trying to send you messages through your dreams or through, synchronicities, singles, symbols, feathers, what have you. So if that happened to you, this is your confirmation. 100% yes, that was a message. And we're being asked to be tolerant at this time. I say we because I'm also a Leo, but we're not really known for our patience with people on our journey sometimes. But you're being asked to absolutely have grace at this moment and be tolerant of other people, because you're about to enter a phase in your life where you really can't be bothered with really silly, small-minded. I feel as though you might be trying to move in a direction, whether that's in a relationship, career, family, doesn't matter, okay? And there's somebody who didn't have the best experience in their life with this. That's definitely influencing you or trying to. And they're doing it under the best of intentions, which is, I think, is why it's a little bit hard to see. But please pay attention to the negative naysayers. And if you really don't feel that way, it doesn't have to be your experience because it was their experience, right? But be tolerant because they are trying to help you move forward, but just be aware of that. Don't let it make you too leery that you don't want to step out into what is rightfully yours that you've earned. And lastly, let's look at this romance stuff, because this looks pretty good for Leos. Okay, we're having boat, receiving what you need, progression arriving, moving on, and closure issues, okay? So if you are healing from something, again, in April, there's a lot of healing taking place there. If you were holding on to anything from the past, it looks like you're moving forward with your healing. And with that, you're able to ascend into either if you're wanting love at this time, to start to move forward in that direction. If you're already in a relationship that's healthy, right? We have engagement ring, and we have that necessarily not because you're getting engaged in this time frame, but it talks about your relationship ascending to the next level. So whatever that may be, you might decide to make it official. You might decide to move in together. You might actually decide to get married. That means I'm not saying that you can't have an engagement ring at this point in time, but I'm saying that the energy for love for Leos during this time is extremely positive. So if you're trying to heal something that maybe it's been years, it's a great time to do that. You have Mercury in retrograde, which goes backwards, and it's a great time in healing somewhere in April and May. So looks like you have a lot to look forward to. Don't lose yourself, and of course, be tolerant. Good luck. Okay, Sagittarius, we are coming in with a lot of anxious energy going into your reading. I feel as though, not that you have bad things happening, we will talk about that, but more of some of you may be experiencing a lot of anxiety about a specific situation or just feeling anxious in general. Okay, some of you may be coming out of seasonal depression as well. So this spring equinox will be a blessing for you as we create a better balance going into that. So we're going to look at March, April, and May, and we're also going to look at the overall energies. But again, like I said when we first began, you're getting the overall energy of anxiety. And if this isn't you, this is someone that is so close to you that the energy is bleeding into your reading. Okay? So let's talk about that. And just keep in mind that just because you have anxiety doesn't mean that it's true. What is occurring is true. There's a big difference between anxiety and intuition, and they're felt in completely different places in your body. And it's really important that you identify them so it doesn't perpetuate itself. So when you're dealing with a feeling of peace and intuition, you'll feel that in your gut, you'll feel it in your solar plexus. It will be a sense of knowing. When you are dealing with anxiety, you will feel it up in your body in other ways. In the chest, in the head, in the arms, in all of the places where you're trying to exert control over situations where you may not have them, okay? So that is a difference. I mean, obviously it's a lot more complicated than that, but I just wanted to throw that out there for you. So let's talk. Let's get the elephant out of the room first. What's coming in? So it looks like in March there is a loss of stability of some sort, okay? But it doesn't look as though that's going to be the worst thing in the world. It may actually be really positive. It may be a choice that you're making that you have not made yet, okay? So underlying energy, you're getting the Two of Wands, which is being at a crossroads, okay? And having to decide between two things, two paths. This could be in career, it could be in romance. Take it as it resonates for you with whatever is creating that anxiety in your mind is probably what they're talking about. Because again, they're not going to bring up the anxiety and not discuss what the issue is. All right. So please take it how it resonates for you. Not every message in this reading is going to be yours. This is going, oh, that's my rabbit. Do you hear that? She's having anxiety. This is really funny. She'll get over that real quick, don't worry. And we're just going to move on. So, yes, being at a crossroads, having to make a decision and weighing out the options, and that itself might be causing the anxiety, okay? But there's something to do with March and having what is so upright. This is like a celebration, this is stability, and, in reverse, this is just something that no longer has the foundation that it once did, okay? Which is interesting because as your spirit animals coming in here, you're getting beaver spirit number 6 if you're a numbers person, laying a solid foundation. So as you release one thing that did not have a solid foundation, or at least anymore, you have the spirit of the beaver with you to lay a new one in a better situation for yourself and the person that you are now, okay? And that'll be an opportunity coming in for you. April, we have the King of Wands in reverse, okay? So this would be somebody who would be in their power. Sometimes this comes up as a narcissistic power trip kind of person. So if you do encounter that, be aware of that, because we do have a relationship that will be ending. That relationship doesn't have to be romantic, but there's definitely something happening for Sagittarius, that there is a line in the sand that's happening in April where you're just going to be like, you know what? this isn't working for me anymore, okay? And you're going to take back that power and decide what you're doing. And I think at that point, that's when this Two of Wands becomes Two of Wands in reverse, having made a decision, okay? But let's stop before we go into May and look at a couple different things here, okay? First of all, from the energetic deck, you're getting impasse, okay? So you may be at a place where you just, and that's, again, creating such anxiety for you because you don't realize what your options are. You think that you only have two. You think that you have to choose one. You're not choosing what is going to be best for you and what's going to make you happy. And I think that is why you're having the most anxiety, all right? First, think about what is going to make you happy and then worry about the rest. If you're doing it in the opposite, if you're like, what is everyone going to think? What is everyone going to do? What is the staff, this very understaffed place, going to do when I accept this other job? Not your problem. I know, like, we all care, but really it's keeping you stuck, and you need to be able to make that decision and worry about the rest later, okay? For some of you, not all of you, we definitely have an energy of somebody who crossed over very young. Could have been a young, fun uncle or someone that you know that you grew up with who died, I would say 30s and 40s. At this point in time, that's working with you at this time to create a gateway, okay? And that's the rune card that you're getting. You're getting the gateway, all right? So there will be an opportunity for you to step through this, all right? You will require the courage. It will be you making the choice. But ultimately, there is an opportunity coming in for you that you're going to need a lot of strength to be able to take. And I feel like that's coming in for you in April and May. You're laying that groundwork. Something will occur in April, May. It will be official. Okay, that's what I'm feeling for you. All right. Now, if we're looking at this from a relationship standpoint, okay, we have the Grim Reaper. The relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform your life. And the advice here is focus on self-worth, time to heal, doing your shadow work, self-appreciation. So that's self-indulgence as well, which not all self-indulgence is bad, right? Especially if you've been giving of yourself for so long, you don't even know what you want. So take this how it resonates for you. Again, don't make it fit if it's not yours. But if you've been in a relationship that you highly suspect is a dead-end relationship, it would be a great time to be done with that, okay? Because the opportunities that are coming up for you are going to be a lot better, and you don't want anything standing in your way. You're getting the keeper of the past as well. I preserve the wisdom of the ancients. So the footprints of the past can become the blueprints for our future. Okay, some of you may be looking into your family tree. Some of you may be really getting into history, especially as it pertains to what we're experiencing right now. I don't know about you, but if I hear we're living in unprecedented times one more time, right? And everyone wonders why there's such mental health issues around. Okay, so we also have courage. I now release all fears about my future and confidently move forward into my destiny, okay? So you need to do what is best for you. And you need to have that decision to move forward. You have courage, you have strength. There is a big decision for you to make towards the end of spring. And I have absolute faith in you, Sagittarius. You are in your power. You will make that choice, even if it's not popular, even if it's hard, okay? Because you're being asked to nurture your dreams, okay? And you're being supported to grow this at this time. So if you're in a place where that is not possible, whether it's a relationship, a family, or a career, like I said, if you're in a place where this is not possible for you, you need to open your mind as to manifest what is possible for you, okay? And then we have the Strength card coming in May. All right, so I hope that helps. I hope at least a little bit that will help some of the anxiety that you're feeling, because change is difficult, especially when you're in that place where you haven't yet made the decision, or you haven't told the people that you've made the decision. Good luck. And I'm just going to drop this right here as well. As I was trying to finish this up for you, you may hear some yelling in the background, and I do apologize for that. There we have a full house, we have neighbors, we have lots of sounds. So from the fact that there's so much noise in the beginning of your reading, in the middle of your reading, at the end of the reading, I want to just drop in here that it may be possible that you don't have any time for yourself and that you can't have any moments of peace. And that may be creating some of the anxiety. If you don't have a space where you can go to or be at to have these thoughts, I feel like there's not, excuse me, anything that goes on that's not really part of your reading. So I do want to say there's a lot of overstimulation that's probably causing the anxiety as well, to look into and to find a place that you can either, if you have to leave your house to find that peace, or if you can create it within your house and space to have that peace, to meditate. And when I say meditate, I don't mean that you have to sit there and, be quiet for 15 minutes to an hour and do all that. What I mean is that you have some time and peace where you're undisturbed to let your thoughts wander, and not just in an anxious way. So I hope that was helpful, and good luck. Okay, Aries, you have a little bit of an extended reading. We have more cards going on for you since it is your birthday. Happy birthday in this time frame. We're going to do the equinox reading of March, April, and May, and the overall energies. So number 22, you're getting yin yang. It's absolutely a time for you to create some balance into your life. Now, typically for me, the balance is a dirty word because you may have it one day and not be able to get it the next day. It's like you're chasing your tail constantly. But for me, this has to do with more of the balance of energy because we are at the spring equinox, and that is the equal amount of light and dark. So this coming in for you is going to bring in a balance for you. Some of you may have been dealing with some seasonal depression. I have that kind of peppered into some of the readings as well. But this is almost like a moment that you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for like the right time. You've been anticipating something to be the right time. It's going to be soon, because for you coming into your birth year, your next trip around the sun here, you have a lot to do with destiny. Okay? So we will get into that shortly, but let's talk about a couple other things first. So we're getting grasshopper spirit taking a leap of faith, right, as your spirit animal. So what a beautiful energy coming in here, taking a leap of faith to your destiny. The card, you have a lot of doubles in here too, right? If you're into angel numbers, we already have 22 and we're coming into 44, which is generosity. Okay, your generosity is being recognized. You may see a lot of this from strangers as well. So there is this energy around you that is going to help you move forward with your destiny. You need to be able to accept the help and advice of others at this time. Not so much that they will change your mind or anything like that, but you may find that information comes to you in the strangest ways, okay? An opportunity, a piece of information that you didn't have before, randomly talking to somebody at Starbucks, okay? So just be aware of that and just be open to that as well. You're getting, okay, so from the energetic deck, you're getting destiny, okay? And this talks about not just being in touch with your immediate destiny, but the fact that you have the duality of two sides, right? Much like the spring equinox, right? You have half light and half dark, and that's within everybody. And that is how you get through. You understand. That's what rubs off on you as you go through life, and different situations create that impression on you, or create the baggage that you carry in any way whatsoever. So there's definitely a nod to whatever's going to be occurring for you over the next 3 to 6 months is 100% part of your destiny. So if you stop and ask yourself, am I supposed to be here? Is this supposed to be happening? Yes, absolutely. There's a big choice to be made. A lot of the signs had this. This is being at the crossroads and having to make a choice. And this deals with work and social activities, right? Of having to make a choice about your life path, okay? You may know this is coming, or it might be a surprise to you. But whatever you decide is going to be part of your destiny, and it's coming up at this right time. Okay, we'll get back to this over here. It looks like there has been a situation where you didn't see any growth, so you stopped putting effort in, okay? Or you stopped putting effort in because other situations needed your attention and you weren't allowed. But you're going to be able to move forward with this, and it's going to be a little bit different than you had originally planned. Let's stop for a minute and let's look at your rune cards. You're getting signals, okay? It is a bird here, so you might be seeing a lot of different birds as spirit animals, not just your grasshopper spirit as well. But signs, signals, synchronicities at this time, they're trying to point you in the right direction, okay? They're trying to take you where you're supposed to go. And it's almost happening right now as like a whisper, all right? So you need to really pay attention, because there's so many other things that are happening around you that will be louder and will require more of your attention, but that's not what you're supposed to be paying attention to. Okay? So let's look at this. We have Keeper of the Skies. I look to the skies for inspiration, for the clouds and skies are God's palette, and however that resonates for you. Okay? So you could be sitting and looking at the stars. You could just be out, like it's finally a nice day out. You're sitting outside. Okay? Or this could be a little bit deeper, right? Keeper of the Skies. You could be connecting to people on the other side. There's a lot of ways this could come for you. Okay? Take it how it resonates personally for you. But one of the things that's standing in your way is the inner critic. Okay? So we have, I will stop listening to my inner critic. I am divinely guided and loved. In every moment, I am perfect. I cannot fail. All right? And say that as many times as you need to. Because one of the only things that's going to be holding you back is one, these distractions, and two, this negative self-talk, making you question the direction that you're going in. Okay? Now, part of that could be, let's talk about this. All right? Some of you, if you're already married. We have wedding rings here, right? Union, wedding, married, soul connection, eternal love, everlasting promise, okay? And this in itself is not a bad card. Looks good, looks to sit up with everything else. But for some of you, we have this other information here, okay? And it's not showing their true feelings. Hiding, personify, pretend. This could be you or the person you're connected to. Be honest with yourself, okay? But there's a mask happening in this relationship. And sometimes that mask could literally be because you're people pleasing. Okay, it could be like you're not trying to hide anything, but you're trying to keep the peace so much that you're not being honest about who you are and what you need, and that will be a problem down the line. Okay, for very few of you, because again, I don't see that many things to it. You could have discovered this long ago about your partner, and that's when you stopped putting effort in. Okay, and that's when you stopped expecting things to change. All right, and let's look at this a little bit deeper into the tarot here. So in March, that's when the expectation stops, okay? That's when we have the Three of Wands. If we have this upright, it's kind of like, oh, your ship's coming in. I'm anticipating this. I can't wait. And when we have it in reverse, you're done waiting. You're done giving chances. It's just not working for you, okay? You could be the one that has stopped putting in effort, or you're the one recognizing that somebody else has stopped putting in effort. If this isn't resonating for you romantically and it is career-wise, then that's how it's supposed to be for you. So just take it how it goes. Again, if it's not connecting at all, please don't force it to fit and create problems where there are none, okay? King of Wands, you have that in reverse, all right? And this is somebody who, and we have this, honestly, these cards have shown up in everyone's reading, and I continue to shuffle each time. So there's definitely something with a person in a position of power who is very narcissistic, and it's very important that you are able to take your own power back and stand up for yourself and have the courage to do that, okay? So often people mistake kindness for weakness in others, and that is your biggest gift. Okay, so the generosity of spirit, and you having the faith, and you bringing the balance in, and you being strong and understanding your destiny, they're all things that happen internally that other people can't see. So while this person may be abusing their power or trying to manipulate, they don't see the strength that you're garnering inside, because everything they have is really on the outside. And they always think that they're smarter than you, but they're not. So this might be the person that's wearing the mask, okay? Again, a marriage, it could be an actual marriage. It could be a marriage as in a partnership, okay? In work, in business, and that sort of a thing. In April, we talk about destiny one more time, okay? We have the Wheel of Fortune, and this is things starting to move in your favor, especially if you've been through some bad luck lately, okay? This thing is turning in your favor, and this is part of your destiny and opportunity. It looks like it's coming in for you in April, okay? So pay special attention to opportunities, and if you don't feel like you have the confidence, fake it till you make it, because you're meant to do that, okay? And the offer might not be what you want. We'll get to that. We'll get to May, okay? In the meantime, too, you might be having some problems with communication, okay? Things being misconstrued. So please, if you're dealing with somebody and it's really important, don't leave it to email or text. Please pick up the phone. Please go there in person, because I feel like misunderstandings will get you in a lot of trouble, and it will delay the gratification of what's trying to come in for you, okay? So just be aware of your communication at that time, because this is where you're choosing. That's where it's sitting. That crossroads is sitting right in that time in April where you're going to be asked to make a decision. Okay. In May, we have the Strength card. Okay. And I feel like you're really, really turning it around and have that courage and finally show your hand of what's been happening. Okay. Quiet that inner critic. Really understand who you are. Claim that and take that leap of faith. Okay. And even if it starts small, okay, the leap of faith for some of you actually might be birthing a child or adopting a child or however that says, because this is a child energy, or it's also a message of an offer. Okay, now because it is a page, it's a small offer. Maybe it's not as much as you expected, but I feel with the Strength and the Page of Cups there, it has so much more growth potential than initially anticipated. So if something comes across your desk and you're like, this is my destiny, I want to do this, oh my God, am I going to be able to afford this? Obviously, look at all the options. You're not going to, take that leap of faith as smart as you possibly can. But also, ask the questions about room to grow, because I don't want you to turn this down based on the fact that you're like, oh, well, they didn't really offer me enough. They're coming in with an offer. It doesn't mean it's the final offer. And it doesn't mean that won't change over, like, it's been 90 days, it's been, 6 months, it's been, oh, we have you in this position so that you can train here, understand the system, and then go into the next. And same if we're talking about a relationship, okay? Being strong enough to, take that date or make that first move. It may start out small, but everything does start with a spark, does it not? So happy birthday and good luck. And remember, you have a leap of faith coming in that will affect your destiny. So hang in there and don't be so harsh of a critic on yourself or others for that matter. Good luck.